Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Art of Being a Woman. Today's episode is about the art of welcoming new beginnings. I really wanted to touch on this topic this week because of the new year. If you're listening to this after the new year, Happy New Year's to you. I hope you feel excited and I hope you feel capable of anything and everything it is that you want to achieve this year. This topic is inspired by my Instagram post on my account, She is Artfully Woman. We have an amazing community of women that love to grow, and it's a safe space. So I definitely recommend it if you are on your self-love journey, your healing journey, and you want some support. The art of welcoming new beginnings was actually inspired by me not feeling ready for the new beginnings that I was seeking so desperately at a certain point in my life. And I feel like that happens to all of us in one point of our lives or another, whether we're working towards a fitness goal, a career goal, a financial goal, you name it. We can just get stuck in the achievement aspect of wanting something. And the truth is, the most rewarding part of achieving a big milestone and a big goal is the person that we become on the way to achieving that goal. And I forget that from time to time. When I really reflected on the biggest milestones in my life and the biggest accomplishments in my life, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen because I decided to do something differently for one day or for 1 week or a month. It was something I really committed to without having proof of the end results. It was because I believed in myself. I believed that if I wanted something bad enough and if I showed up for myself every day, that it would be mine. And it also happened by me not focusing on the end result every single day because I truly knew that it would only bring me down, because we can be putting in so much effort into something and be so close to being finished, but if we're only measuring our success by the end result, we're going to feel short every single time. And that can get discouraging when you have to remain disciplined on a long-term goal. And so we're going to get into 4 different steps that I like to follow when I am excited for a new beginning that I know is not in my control, it's not within reach in the present moment. I'll show you how to make it fun for you, because sometimes we can get stuck in the journey and the process and we want to rush it and we want to skip to the finish line. But I promise you, the beauty and the magic happens in the process of getting there. Think about every movie. Imagine watching a movie where the plot starts, there's a problem, and they wake up the next day and they solve it. What a boring movie. That's not even inspiring. It's not inspiring to know that someone had this big issue and miraculously everything fell into place the next day. They didn't earn it. They don't even feel like they deserve it. And that's kind of the point, because when we want something so badly and we think if we get what we want by tomorrow, we're going to be happy about it, we're going to love it, we're going to feel so grateful. The truth is, we're not going to feel deserving of it because we didn't put in any work. And what tends to happen is that it slips through our fingers. And I can give a real life example. People that win the lottery. Imagine winning such a large amount of money that you've never had access to. It's normal to not know what to do with that wealth, especially if we personally didn't work hard for it. And the thing is, we don't have to work hard to deserve great things. I truly believe that as well. But we have to work on our inner self, so when things outside of us start accelerating and start progressing, we don't lose ourselves in the process. Think about fame. There's famous people where they have so much talent and they know that. And it's not about how many people like them, it's just about them sharing their talent with the world. And then once they get a lot of attention, they start to change. And we can't really judge these people, because how can you possibly prepare yourself for that much attention and validation? And so that is why it is so important to embrace the journey on the way to a new beginning, because we want to make sure that when we step into our future, we are ready and that we are confident in achieving our goals and we are feeling deserving. Now, the 4 steps are as follows. We have 1, make space for what's coming. 2, act as if you're already living it. 3, align your habits with your vision. And 4, surround yourself with matching energy. I love all these steps, and I am very excited to get into the first one. We have make space for what's coming. Think about your closet. Imagine you're going through your clothes every day, which we do every day, anyways, and there's so many clothes in there, but we have nothing to wear. And that happens a lot with us women. And it's funny because if we have nothing to wear, why do we have so many clothes in our closet? And it's because we hold on to things that we don't find useful anymore. And yes, it was useful once upon a time. It had value once upon a time, but not anymore. And maybe sometimes we feel bad to let things go. Maybe we worked really hard to buy certain clothing, and so we don't want to give it away. When we are ready for new beginnings in our life, we have to release old parts of ourselves that are no longer helping us step into that new beginning. And yes, that could be clothes, or it can be people. In order for something new to enter our lives, we have to make space for it. And that's sort of how the universe works. And so, if you want new clothing, and if you want new friends, and if you want a new relationship in life, you have to really show the universe, show God, whoever you believe in, I'm ready. I have the space right here. I prepared. And you might realize as you're going through your things, as you're going through the people in your life, you might realize it's hard to let some of these things go, even if you know they've already run their course. It could be because of the history it holds and the memories it holds. But the truth is, we have to learn to let go of these memories too, so that we can create new memories. And that's really how we show the higher power that we are ready for new beginnings. Because it's not enough to say you want a new beginning if you're not acting on it. That's like saying you're ready to get fit and get into shape, but you never sign up to the gym. You never step foot in the gym. It's just all talk and no action. And so we want to follow through on our words with action. We want to really solidify that we want a new beginning. For example, for me, whenever I know that a new season is approaching and I would like to buy some new clothing, I look at all my clothing from the previous year and I see what I like still, I see what I don't like, and I'm honest with myself. Sometimes I'll buy something a year ago and unfortunately, it doesn't excite me anymore. And that's fine. There's nothing to be ashamed about. That means I grew and my taste has expanded and changed. And that doesn't mean you need to throw things out altogether, but you give them away. And I have quite a few siblings, so it's easy for me to give my clothes away and not throw them out. But you can donate clothes and so on and so forth. There are moments in our life when we're excited when we have something and we create amazing memories. Over time, the excitement fades and reality starts to set in, and it can be whether it's a trend or that was just your style at the time. That can happen with relationships. Some phases in our life, we're looking for excitement, let's say. We're looking to go out more. We're looking to learn more about ourselves or to branch out perhaps. And then as time goes on, you just realize the memories were great, but I feel like the relationship has run its course and we're growing in different directions. And we're grown enough to be the deciders of when something has run its course. Let's not wait for things to start to fall apart to make these changes and to clear up these parts of our lives that have run its course. It's not easy to do. I feel like the longer we hold on to things, the harder it is to let it go. I completely understand that. And it's still not easy, even after you've practiced to let things go, let people go. But you become more grounded in yourself because we are the only constant in our own life. And I personally feel like that is what life is always reminding us. You were born alone and you die alone. And that sounds really extreme, but it is the truth, and it helps me remember that I can do things even as the world is changing, even as the people around me are changing, and my taste is changing, and my passions are changing. I'm the constant, me, and I hold myself together throughout it all, and that is the most important part. Now, let's move on to step number two. We have act as if you're already living it. I like this step because it's like a little game of pretend. The same way that when we were children and we would pretend we're a princess, we would get the princess outfit on, we would get the heels on, maybe we would get the wig, we would do our makeup, and then we would have the attitude of a princess. We would speak like her, we would eat like her, and you get the point. Now, acting as if a new beginning has already occurred is not about being completely delusional, but it's about putting yourself in the point of view of the version of yourself that already achieved this new beginning, this new goal that you set out to achieve. How would they act? And it sounds simple, but it's truly not. And I'll give an example. Let's say I'm getting ready for work and I'm running a little behind schedule. And I decide I can either make a quick coffee at home and sort of rush to work, no breakfast, and hopefully I don't get hangry while I'm working, or I can splurge a little, stop by Starbucks, and have that to eat on my drive to work. Now, I never realized that my default answer to myself was, oh, of course, don't eat breakfast. Just make your coffee. It saves you so much time and it saves you money. And go straight to work and you're fine. You'll be fine. You don't need to eat breakfast. You're not going to get hangry. You don't really get hangry. And you'll be fine. And that was really the way I lived my life for 25 years. I'm 25 years old, for context. And recently, I decided to ask myself, well, the person that has already achieved the goals that I set out to achieve, she's not concerned with money. She understands that making herself happy is her priority, and that if she's happy, everything else will flow beautifully. And whenever I envision my future self, she's really happy at all times. She knows how to have a good day on purpose. And I realized, wow, even the littlest decisions, such as if I'm eating breakfast or not and where I'm getting my breakfast from, that can all be done in the point of view of future me. And the more I started tapping into that and the more I started honoring what my future self would do for myself, I became a lot happier, and honestly, I feel more aligned with her than I do with past me. And the more that I tap into my future self, the more I'm expanding on what my future is going to look like. And I realized a lot of the goals that we set for ourselves, and I mean the external goals, such as the relationship, the friendships, the career, the financial success. Yes, that is what we want, but it's because having those things externally reflects this inner fulfillment that we're going to feel with ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I mean, one of my goals is financial freedom. And it's not because I just want to have a lot of money, because I've had opportunities where I can really push myself to work long hours every week and I can make a lot of money. But I soon realized that is not truly what I want. It's not about the money, it's about having the financial freedom so that I can be happy and that I can have time. I felt like my whole life I'd never had time to just be myself and to just be. It was always, what can I do next to be productive, whether it was school and continuing education. There was always something else to chase. And for the first time in my life, when I had the opportunity to make a large amount of money, I decided that's not for me. That's not really my goal. My goal is to be happy always, and my goal is to feel like I have time. And for the first time in my life, I have it. And that's just one example. I encourage you to really ask yourself, how can I act like I'm already my future self, even though I'm still right here in the present moment? Because you will notice that there's little things that you can do to honor that version of yourself. And it's really a mindset shift. A lot of times we think we can't do certain things until we achieve a goal, but that's not true. And I'll give an example of this. I have been working out consistently every single day for almost a year. And I'm really proud of that. I started in February. I started going to Pilates and I instantly fell in love with it. And yes, it's trending right now. And honestly, I am so grateful it's trending because I probably wouldn't have tried it had I not seen it all over my feed. I was never an athletic person before this, and it was always my goal to be the Pilates girl. And not to put myself in a box or anything, but I loved the aesthetic. I loved the pink outfits, I liked the matching workout sets, I liked the scrunchy socks, you name it. Before I ever began working out, I was okay with my body. I knew I wasn't super athletic, but when I wore certain clothes, whether I was going out or I had an event, I knew how to dress and I was happy with myself. I didn't have a problem with my body and how it looked. When I started to work out and wear my matching sets, I started to analyze my body a little bit differently because when you wear work outfits, they're more fitted. You see every little detail when you're working out. And at first, it made me highly aware of the fact that I had more body fat than I realized. And yeah, that there were parts of my body that I would like to improve on. And there was a part of me that was thinking, should I cover up? Because I was wearing a bra and matching leggings. And then I realized absolutely not. I am going to act as if I already have my dream body right now. I'm gonna dress so confident in this Pilates studio until I reach my dream body. And I really did it to sort of have this discipline. I really wanted to see my body transform in a way that was consistent. So I figured if I were to wear baggy shirts and sweatpants every time I worked out, and then I only started wearing a bra and leggings when I have my dream body, I felt like that was so unfair to myself. I decided, no, I'm gonna act like I have my dream body right now, and I'm gonna be able to enjoy every little bit of progress because I'm showing off my body from the start of my fitness journey till now. I don't know where I got this confidence from at all. There are tons of other women that have been working out for years and they have amazing bodies, and I wasn't insecure about it. If anything, it motivated me. I just kept thinking, wow, if I keep showing up every day, I'm gonna have a body like that. So that's sort of how I shifted my mindset. And now that we're in December, the end of December, I'm noticing that I'm now them. I'm the woman that is toned. I'm athletic. Now I wear workout clothes and I'm proud and I see my results. It's a beautiful feeling to know that I have always acted like I was going to achieve the goal that I have achieved right now. And yes, it took 10 months, but it doesn't matter how long it took. What matters is that I enjoyed every step along the way. I dressed exactly how I pictured myself dressing from day one till now. It made the whole process more enjoyable for me and it made it more exciting and motivating. So act as if you're already living as someone that has achieved your goals already, and you will see how much that inspires you to stay disciplined. Now, step three, align your habits with your vision. Habits are really the foundation for our whole life. And I didn't realize this until my early 20s. And even then, you can know that habits shape your reality, but sometimes it isn't enough for it to click. And I think what really made me take habits more seriously in my life is when I started to realize that sometimes I would just have weeks where majority of the days were good, and then sometimes I had weeks where majority of the days were annoying, whether I was more irritated, I was more negative, and I really thought it was outside of my control, whether life was happening to me and things would just not go according to plan. And there came a point in my life when I started to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I would watch a lot of the women that inspired me. They had these amazing lives that they built for themselves from scratch. And I would just think to myself, wow, like, how did they do that? And as I would watch some of their videos where they would be more vulnerable and they would talk about their journey, they would really explain how they started acting like the version of themselves that they always knew that they could be. And that has to do with your habits. So you need to think about whatever goal that it is that you have set out for yourself or whatever new beginning you're seeking in your life. Sometimes it can be tricky to know which habits you should implement, which habits you should kick in order to align with this version of yourself that has achieved your goal. And for me, what I like to do is I think about my ideal self. And if money was never a problem, what would she fill her day with? What would she be really excited to do on a daily basis? Is she excited to wake up at 5 a.m.? Is that her idea of fun? Does she like to go to sleep early? Does she like to exercise every day? Does she like to exercise in the morning or in the evening? What kind of exercise does she like to do? Does she like to cook for herself or does she like to dine out? Does she like to scroll on social media for hours or does she like to read? These are all things you should think about and you should ask yourself. And if you have difficulty envisioning this version of yourself, what I advise you to do is make a list of all the goals you would like to achieve in this upcoming year of 2025. Put it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, with all these goals that I have set out for this year, please tell me what a day in my life would look like. And it's going to create this whole storyline for you from start to finish. Once you have that and once you read that over, you'll understand, like, does this sound like something that you would want? If not, you tweak it and you change it up. And once you get a nice paragraph on how your ideal day would look like, now you can even ask ChatGPT, what habits do I need to start implementing to achieve this? When you have that outline of your ideal day, it can really help you break down habits into small steps so that it doesn't feel overwhelming. And if you start implementing those small changes in your habits to reflect the version of you that you are seeking to be, you will get closer to that version of yourself. It will take time and it will take discipline, but you have both of those things. You have discipline to do all the other habits you've been doing your whole life. It's important to remember that there is no right time to start a new habit. There is no right time to kick an old habit. Start now. Start now because you know that you want something new for yourself. You know that you want change. You know that you want to grow and expand. And it's gonna start by us getting out of our comfort zone. It is scary in the beginning, but I promise the more that you slowly push yourself out of your comfort zone, the less scary it'll be. And you're going to feel your confidence grow because confidence is actually grown by you stepping out of your comfort zone. That's what builds true confidence. It's not about being born thinking that you're the best person in the whole world. No, it's about even when you don't think you're the best person in the world, you still show up as her. And you do it consistently enough that you end up believing it and it ends up being true because you embody it. The truth is, the journey to get to where you want to be is meant for you. So once you claim something as yours, like I did with working out, once I decided I am someone that works out every day, even though I was not someone that ever worked out, I decided this is who I am. Whether I have proof or not, whether I believe in myself or not in the moment, I'm just going to be disciplined and I'm just going to be consistent. And as time progressed, I became her. And so I hope that inspires you to do the same because you can. You simply just have to decide and remain firm in that decision. Now, step 4 and last step, surround yourself with matching energy. This is similar to step number 1, making space for what's coming, but it's a step further because now you're going to fill your space with new things that reflect the new beginnings that you're trying to embrace and that you're trying to welcome into your life. And what does this mean? This can mean welcoming new habits into your life, like we just discussed. It can be new friendships into your life. It can be new clothing into your life and new experiences. And this is honestly a fun step, in my opinion. So if you are someone that is looking to get more into fitness this year, surround yourself with people that exercise or surround yourself with workout clothes. And that might sound like it's a stretch and that you can buy workout clothes, but you'll never wear them to work out. But I have noticed in my own life, it actually has the opposite effect. If I buy things that I get to wear when I'm doing something that makes me nervous or uncomfortable, it motivates me more, it excites me more. And yes, obviously, we don't want to fully rely on external things to keep us motivated to try new things. But I feel like if you need a little push and a nudge because you're a little scared, definitely try to do that. Try to invest in something that will help you show up more confidently in something new that you're deciding to do. It's important to open ourselves to new experiences so that we can allow ourselves to be met with new energy. Sometimes we feel stuck because we're doing the same things over and over again. We have the same routine Monday through Sunday. Maybe our weekends are also very predictable, and that doesn't really leave room for change. It doesn't leave room for new beginnings. And again, with new beginnings, it's about embracing the discomfort of stepping outside of our comfort zone. And so it's important to try new things, go out with new people that you've never gone out with. That doesn't mean to hang out with anyone and everyone and to just go to any event and every event. But when you feel excited to go out with someone, when you feel excited to try something new, yes, it can have those butterflies too. Do it. And what's the worst that can happen? You do it once and you realize it's not for you, you just don't do it again. Then you find something else new to try. Doing the same things keeps us stuck in the past, and it makes it harder for us to move on. So it's important that we surround ourselves with experiences that align with the new version of ourselves, with the things that we know that we want to do in the future. And we can start right now. We don't have to wait until we've achieved the goal to do these things, because you can even research influencers and content creators and famous people that have achieved the goals that you set out for yourself and the new beginnings that you want to have in your life. And you'll notice they didn't always know what they were doing. They just tried new things out. They shifted gears, and that's ultimately what brought them closer to what they wanted. It's liberating to realize that, because if we want new beginnings, we can have them. We can have them every single day. It can really be as simple as deciding, you know what? I'm not going to have my coffee the same way as I always do. I'm actually going to have a matcha, or I'm going to have tea. Just by switching our habits and switching our routines up, we are already embracing new beginnings, and we are already showing the universe and God that we can handle change and we can handle a little bit of discomfort. And watch how your life transforms very quickly, and be prepared to be a little uncomfortable, but also know that when you're uncomfortable, it's a good thing. You're growing, you're expanding, you're getting closer to the version of you that you've always wanted to be. And I bet you're going to end up falling in love with your journey so much that you might even forget what your end goal was. Or maybe you don't, but when you get to your end goal, you'll realize that you've achieved way more than you expected. Back to my example with working out. When I looked at myself, when I went to my last workout class before the holiday season, I saw my reflection in the mirror and I noticed how drastically my body has changed. I noticed how much stronger I've gotten and how my clothes fit differently. And it was emotionally fulfilling in so many ways, because, yes, I feel like I've achieved my dream body, even though it's really not about that anymore. Me starting out would have never believed it's not about achieving my dream body, because that was my initial goal. But I realized I can do anything I set my mind to, as long as I decide to stay disciplined and to believe in myself and to trust in the process. And I did that. I trusted in the process, I trusted in myself, and there were also moments where I was worried that I couldn't afford the membership of even being so consistent with Pilates, but I knew that I wanted it so badly that if I had to, let's say, cut corners and maybe not spend money on different things, and I focused on my fitness, that I can really commit to this. And I did, and if there's a will, there's a way. And I know it's easier said than done, but have faith in yourself that if you want something bad enough, you will make sure it happens. Think about that. Think about the moments in your life where you really didn't take no for an answer. And I'm talking things within your control. And I bet you got your way, because that is what happens. The world bends in your favor once you set your mind to something. Your new beginning is closer than you think. You just need to take your first step. And I promise, once you take your first step, the second step becomes easier and more clear. And soon, you're not even counting your steps. You're just enjoying yourself along the way. And before you know it, you've reached your goal and you realized you were happy without even achieving the goal. And achieving the goal was a bonus. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I loved making it and discussing this topic. I would love to hear your thoughts and your New Year's resolutions, because they're exciting. It's exciting to set a goal for yourself and to work on achieving it. I hope you have a great week. I hope you had a great New Year's. I love you all. Until next time, bye for now.